fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more.
Hello there, welcome to the Flushing Bloke podcast. I'm Siobhan. Deny the life you're living. Let's meet the plucky girl assistant, shall we? What have we got? From America, we've got the Brian.
Hello.
Still American?
Football, soccer, guns, yes.
Right. And from Florida, we've got Lilibet, the Wonder Girl.
No.
Still here? Hasn't been
here?
blown away.
No. Actually, wind wasn't a problem with this one. It was water.
Quite a storm surge
wind
and rain.
was a problem, but it was mostly.
Did you see an older lady riding a bike going by saying, "I'll get you, my pretty"?
We did have a tornado warning. I did take the cat and go in the
We
closet.
were under a tornado watch. Technically speaking, I'll explain about that in a second.
I roll over and go to sleep.
So did I, but I knew what I was talking about. You don't.
There's
What are you about
way
to-
too much above my head there. Okay.
It's all right. It's not as if you're balding. Your hair's fine.
I know.
Exactly. Good head of hair
I
there,
actually
mate.
have a full head of hair for my age. I'm really happy about this.
Just not in his head.
It's right here.
How's your week been?
The week.
The fortnight. The period of time compressed into.
The dumpster fire that was the week of work. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, your favourite.
Yeah. It was a special week from hell, and
Aww.
Friday was nice and slow, and we decided screw it all, and everybody took off early.
Good. As long as all the work was done, was all the work done, Brian? Is Spanky going to get paid?
It's as done as it was going to get done.
Yeah, that's about how Fridays go, isn't it?
Yeah. It would be done if I did not have to rely on other people and other departments to do their job.
A
which they
bad
want me to do
workman
their
blames
job
his
for them.
fools.
Yeah, they want me to do their job for them, and not.
Going back to what we were saying, I was actually thinking about all the nannies, prospective nannies, waiting to be interviewed in Mary Poppins, because Lilibet's
Blowing away.
had a hurricane.
Yes. We got very, very lucky in my area. I'm about 40 miles inland from the West Coast.
Hello,
and-
Rita.
Hello. And the storm was about 90 miles off the West Coast. So we were approximately, 150 miles from the center, and we still got hurricane force gusts. But the result around here was some branches down, some trees down, but not many. And some people's electricity went off. Mine flickered, but some people were out for a few hours or the better part of a day. But then that was rectified as quickly as possible, and it was all okay.
It's funny you say that.
Rosie is commenting on your. placement
Rosie
of
says
microphone.
she had to sit. She got her nap disturbed, and she had to go sit in the downstairs loo, because we had a tornado warning, and she was not best pleased that she was woken from her nap.
You did the right thing. Do you see? That's what you're supposed to
know
do,
that feeling.
Brian. Let me guess. Downstairs, interior room.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep,
Good.
under the stairs.
Yep.
The bathroom under the stairs.
Good place.
So wait,
Extra-
when you hear the alarm on
piping
your
helps.
phone, you're not supposed to silence it, roll over, and go back to bed.
Ooh.
Only if you like living dangerously.
Danger is my middle name.
Or if you are particularly aerodynamic.
Well, that's you out
Not
for
so much
both
anymore.
reasons, isn't it? I mean,
Not
that's
so
what-
much anymore. Yeah, no.
Oh dear.
But the coast got inundated. They had enormous storm surge, and they've got tons of damage. And then it battled its way, up into Rosie, popcorn is not for cats.
You say
She'll
that
be
now.
the judge of that.
Up into northern Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, and the Carolinas, which have gotten hit really, really, really badly.
Well,
because
if
they
you
were so-
will live in America, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
This is the kind of unprecedented storm behavior.
Right, it isn't really, is it? It's just slightly stronger than normal. It's going up. It's
a
going up the
little
usual path.
unprecedented.
It doesn't usually go up into the mountains like that. It went up into the Appalachians. Normally,
It's gone that far. It's still at hurricane force. Surely it must have been downgraded to tropical.
no, it downgraded, but the problem is it brought with it a lot of rain,
Yes.
and they've been very, very dry. So they have had. Then they had a ton of rain.
Yeah, that's not good.
So they had huge mudslides. They've had huge flooding. There's basically towns got wiped off the map, is what happened. It's very, very bad.
And Auntie, you forgot the Appalachians go all the way up and include some of the Scottish mountains as well.
Yes, that's true.
The Scottish mountains.
Yes.
Yes, because the Appalachians are older than dinosaurs, and they were formed before the continent.
The Appalachians are older than bones.
Sorry. How does this connect with Scotland?
Because
because
the mountain
there's-
range that is the Appalachians, once upon a time, when all
Oh,
the
right.
continents were put together,
Pangea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
It's
you.
the same mountain range, and
that's
there's no
interesting.
dinosaur bones in it because there were no dinosaurs when those mountains were formed.
there were no bones. They are older than the evolution of bones.
I don't know. You Americans, you'll take credit for everything. Scottish mountains, that's us. It's
Yes,
Yes?
Rosie, you're very needy.
we were under a tornado watch. It wasn't worded as a tornado watch because we don't have them per se over here. But I saw what the warning was, and it essentially was the same as a tornado watch. The conditions are right for possible tornadic formation, and
Did you get an F1, F2?
there was probably a couple of F-Zeros and F1s. I am dreading if ever we get something very nasty because we're so built up. That will be a national tragedy. But they are becoming more numerous. And
Just
they're becoming
remember,
larger.
if you see the guy from the Weather Channel suddenly appear in Crawley, get the hell out of town.
You see,
Yeah,
that's the
Jim Cantori is basically Cassandra at this point.
Cassandra was right.
Yes,
Yes.
and
If you see
usually
Reed
Jim
Trimmer
is
show
too.
up, you're dead.
Is he who? Reed Trimmer.
Trimmer, yeah.
I like
You show
the man.
him if he shows up somewhere. Yeah. Kiss
I
him goodbye.
like the man. I love his enthusiasm. He's a bit shouty. I will. You jealous of Rosie?
Yes. Oh, look, Rosie, you have a friend.
The only trouble with Reed is he takes risks, and he shouldn't do. And like I say, I mean, some of them went down for the hurricane. I'm thinking, you're the people that are going to cause emergency people to have to go and do things.
Yeah, they've had to do, not necessarily of those people, but they had to do a lot of high water rescues. They've had to do a lot of, at least sort of locally, that's what we've heard about. People who didn't leave because either they couldn't, because evacuating takes money,
Yes.
and it's being physically able to go. Now the state has done a lot to help that. Like there has to be an animal friendly shelter in every county.
Yep.
But it's just hard for a lot of people to get
Well, of
where they
course.
need to be.
Yeah.
And expensive. And also we did have flooding in a storm last year. And I think a lot of people were comparing the two and saying, well, I was fine during that, and that was a more direct hit. And there's a big difference between, say, 8 or 9
You
feet
can't do that with weather
and 12 feet.
because
And the flooding really started after the storm passed this time
cat's ass.
because of the way the storm was. Yes. So Yeah, it's been bad.
Like I say, we're under this. Essentially, what I want to do is I need to get hold of. Now I've found a Facebook page. I want to get hold of them because I need to learn about British tornadoes. I can do supercell tornadoes, no problem, but British tornadoes are sneaky little buggers. They're very quick spin-ups, obviously not related to supercells at all. So it's looking at the radar and finding them. That's the tricky bit, because there's no hook. So I want to get in touch with them and start learning again. It's a really weird hobby to have. Right. Oh, my week. I forgot about my week.
It was your week.
How was your week? What was your week?
It wasn't brilliant. Bored. Lonely. Next week should be interesting, though.
What's next week?
I'm going to be in a recording studio doing acting.
Oh, you're going to do it.
I am. I'm not going to say what yet, folks, because I don't know if I'm allowed to or not. It's a private thing. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say anything. It's not Doctor Who, though. I will say that. Thank God. But I will be full of love, and I'll bring something back.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going to be a 10-hour day.
It's a long day.
That's a long
It's gonna
day
be a
of
very,
recording.
very long day. At the end of it, I'm going to be fucked up beyond all measure. Luckily, the car will bring me home. I love my car. Aside from that, not much has happened that I can really think of. We lost David Graham, which is a terrible, terrible thing.
We lost Drake Hogestyn.
I don't know who that is.
He was an actor on
Case of Our Lives,
Yeah.
which my mother watched religiously while I was growing up.
He's an American daytime soap person. I really don't care.
From 1986 to pretty much now. The dude was on it, like 4,000 episodes plus.
Whoop-dee-doo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
John and Marlena.
Yeah, sorry, it's I don't have much time for daytime soaps. They're ridiculous.
Oh, they are, but
these are the
that's
days
the
of our
nature of the
lives.
beast.
No, we don't have all that shit over here. We've got Neighbours, which is Australian, I will admit. I don't know who John Black is, Retta, I don't care. Oh, God. I'm not dissing him, I've no idea who he is. How can I diss him when I don't know who he is? Oh, dear. I mean, what's it, Daisy's Lives? That's essentially what Joe and I based As the Action Happens on. A crappy daytime soap, except this one had been imported from somewhere in South America. Well, from Latvia. Yeah, it's... Well, too bad, Retta. You are going to have to live with it. She's not going to talk to me next week.
Oh, she'll talk to you.
Oh, dear. But I wish I could talk more on the show about what I'm going to be doing.
It's probably best you don't at this point.
I am going to be meeting John Guylaw.
Nice. Who's that?
The other Hartnell person.
Cool.
The one who's been avoiding me.
Are you
all
going
these
to have
years.
a Hartnell off?
No.
Oh, you need to get the new boy in on that one too.
I tried, actually, because there were still some roles that needed
Because the
filling.
three of
but
you could do a Hartnell off, and there can be only one.
No, you see, it doesn't quite work like that. We don't feel the need to have to do that.
Your fans do.
And who's going to see it? Nobody. Nobody's going to see it. And I guarantee
Just saying,
you,
there may be a camera involved. That's all I'm saying.
I also guarantee you, it won't be very good because none of us will have anything scripted.
Even better.
I mean, I can go on.
Everybody
as
has a
Hartnell.
plan until they get punched in the mouth.
I can go on as Hartnell for God knows, almost as much as I can go on as in a Mummerset accent. More on that story later. Yeah, I'm looking forward to mentioning to seeing John Guylaw. I do have this terrible, terrible urge when I'm in the recording studio to go. Yes, I could hear you, Clan Fandango. It's completely bugger up the word. It's Toast of London. And Toast of Hollywood, I believe. So, no, it was a terrible... You see, I've lost the knack of doing the Hartl impersonation. I really have. That's why I've retired. So this is supposed to be my sign-off.
Mm-hmm. Your swan song?
Yeah. I say that. You don't know what
Are
life
you
will
going
throw
to
at you.
choose the scenery?
The role I've got is a little bit plummy. But it's this side of scenery chewing. It's not too far. There's just the original actor was a little plummy. I've got to go back and watch the 2 existing episodes. Oh, I'm giving the game away here to see, to double check the guy's performance. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to being out away for so long. I'll be honest with you, the dog's gone nuts as well. Hello. That stopped you, didn't it?
Well, Rosie has had the attention she wants and has wandered off into the hallway.
So, anyway, David Graham died. If I may possibly please continue talking about
Yes.
David Graham instead of being interrupted by some pathetic daytime soap star.
Who's David Graham again?
One of the original Dalek voices in all of the Jerry Anderson stuff. Grandpa Pig in Peppa Pig, which I've never seen. And he's one of the ubiquitous voices. I mean, he's the guy who played Parker, for heaven's sakes. No. You never seen the Thunderbirds, Brian?
Yes, I know Parker.
Your name is not Brian, though, is it?
I've seen
No.
Thunderbirds when I was, very small.
Yeah, it's one of the guys who did the voices for that. He was working well into his 90s. In fact, when they released the Daleks in colour last year, they'd got him to redo some Dalek voices at his age. Pretty amazing, really. Really was. So, yeah. That's it. The spot it going to start appearing everywhere now.
Deck plate.
Oh, right. Oh, I've worked out a way around that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We don't need the ship, do we?
Kind of do. Just saying.
Well, I've tried a rather strong corrosive and took a layer off the deck plating. Let's see what else we can do. You want to push it, Retta? You want to push it? Oh, God, look at him. He's just enjoying every... Sorry, we're talking about the RPG, which is every other Saturday night. We'll be back next Saturday, I think. Hang on.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry, it's the one afterwards. It's my birthday, so I won't be able to make it. Okay.
Nope, you're not allowed.
Too bad. As Retta said, how dare you, I give you more than enough advance notice. Yeah, really sad to hear about David Graham. I've got to admit, he's one of the voices of my childhood. Several of the voices of my childhood. Trying to think of any other news. Daytime soap unrelated.
Do you need more non-daytime soap stuff?
And that makes you unworthy of the diamond logo, Retta.
Yeah,
You
don't
really
worry
need to get
about
the
it. I don't
t-shirt.
care either.
Yeah, I'm right with all.
You've
all
enjoyed
of
his
them.
performances more than enough times.
That's good.
Poor David Graham. One of the original
He was
Dalek
working up
voices.
until he was 90. He had a full life.
Oh, Christ, yes.
Well, and of course, Maggie Smith.
That was
Not
the other
related to
one.
Doctor Who, but
That was the other one. Yes, of course. I knew there was somebody else. No, Diamond Retta. Diamond singular. Yes, now Meg Smith, that woman could be the most waspish, well, with the line she was given, the most waspish, sarcastic woman out there. I mean, I've never seen Downton Abbey, though I have seen a couple of clips this week because of her death. But you should see her in other things. Not Harry Potter related, because Harry Potter is not allowed on this channel.
I saw her as this teacher just give a total tongue lashing to this old biddy.
Prime Miss Jean Brodie?
I have no idea. There was no context other than her just having a monologue.
She's one hell of an actress. Got me thinking. She was a dame, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you call a dame? I mean, for example, a lordship, you got your lordship, your ladyship. A baroness, I'm not sure what you'd call them. Is there actually a particular honorific to use when addressing them? Or is it just ordinarily the usual stuff?
I don't know, but in her case, I would, yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am, sir. Yes, sir, ma'am. Yeah.
Oh,
Madame. Madame might be good.
I can just imagine their reply to that.
Sorry, I'm landing.
Right. Okay. That's nice. In case anybody's wondering what I'm doing, by the way, I'm reading off the we've got people in chat, so I'm reading off some of
Oh,
those.
there's people in chat.
Now we're back on our usual stomping ground. We're no longer in hot tubs and whatever. Thanks for that, Brian. Never doing that again. Never listening to you ever again. Zombie Wolf 9000 is back.
Risen from the dead.
Yes, well, it's Zombie Wolf. So, yeah, man. It's good stuff. It didn't feel right not having our usual bots in channel and actually having real perverts turn up. Why did I listen to you?
I'm still trying to figure out why the hell you fed the trolls.
We said I didn't think I was feeding the trolls. I was trying to interact like I normally do on the show.
Yeah, the first rule of Twitch is do not feed the trolls.
But I didn't know they were trolls. I had to talk
Were
to
they
them to
posting
discover
in
this.
chat?
I didn't know this particular
Then
rule.
they were trolls.
Because, I mean, basically you're saying Retta, therefore, is a troll.
There can be some troll qualities in there.
Retta, he's calling you a troll. I'm just saying.
Troller, Retta, troller.
You're going to regret this, Paco. Oh, yes. Did you ever have something called Paco Rabanne over there? Hey, Garrus TV, check your category. Yeah, podcasts and chat shows.
No.
What? What? What is our category? Oh, you're kidding. It hasn't reverted, has it? How do I alter this in... Or am I going to have to stop, do it again, and do it again? Brian, has it reverted?
It never changed.
Streamlabs, you hurt me. You wound me mortally. And the trouble is, I don't
was
think...
wondering why we got suddenly 5 viewers.
Can I change it within
You could probably change it on the fly.
dashboard? That's...
Oh, yes!
Hang on. Come on. Load up. I can't believe this is...
Yeah, it's kind of like Beetlejuice, isn't it? You mention someone 3 times, they show up.
Okay. No. That didn't work. Right, well, as is usual for this show,
Us.
things have gone rather wrong. Zombie Wolf!
I told you.
Oh my god! He exists! It's not a bot! Oh, my day is rocked. My day is rocked. Doctor Who and British Archive Television. Garios. It's the best I can do, really, because that's essentially what it is, isn't it, really? Essentially, it's three old fools just talking bollocks to each other.
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah,
you calling
that's everything else is an excuse for us to meet up. I can't believe this has happened
I do
again.
describe it as a bit of a audiovisual book club. The audio visuals is really just an excuse for us to chat.
He could. He has.
Yeah. Sorry, just to let people on YouTube know, Retta's just said she's just wondering after this time Paco's not the one handling the technical side of the show. I'm glad he's not handling the technical side of the show.
He has. He has before.
Because I have
He
to.
still has some material to do so.
I when it comes to this, I tend to be a little bit proprietorial on the broadcast stuff because I like it set up how I like it. That I know it's okay. You're the same with the RPG.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's along
Just
for the
as-
ride.
Yeah,
I just show up and look pretty.
You're the one
Usually I've
you're
done
the
my
one who
homework.
comes up with the intelligent stuff.
That's true.
You're the one that does the homework.
Mm-hmm. So, like every group project I've ever been a part of.
Yep.
I can't believe Zombie Wolf's not a bot. That's
You
not me
okay?
sideways.
Are you okay now? Do you need a moment to reflect?
Well, it's sort of the absolute crushing horror of realising that the category didn't change as I told it to has been matched out with the fact that Zombie Wolf is real.
Yeah.
I'm having a very strange evening.
Uh-huh.
I really am.
Has your mind just suddenly expanded to infinite possibilities and then just shrunk down? Now anything is possible.
I'm going to have to go and have a cupcake tomorrow because of this. I found a cupcake shop in town. Well, actually, it's
I
outside
approve of
town.
a
It's in one of the
cupcake shop.
suburb shopping things. I'm going and seeing Fake Keith from Staggering Stories tomorrow for lunch. Well, I say lunch, a cuppa. I'm going to I should take some rather nice cupcakes. I found it by accident when the local cafe was shut for their summer holidays. I was desperately looking for somewhere else, and Google lied to me and told me there was a place down Langley Green, and no, there wasn't. But there was in its place a cupcake shop. Fair enough.
So
Excellent.
you finally explored your surroundings.
I badly want to disagree with you on that, but I think you may have actually hit the core of the truth of it. Yeah. I can't believe that went wrong again. At some stage, I'm going to piss myself laughing about it. But right this second, I'm horrified because I have no idea what's going to happen for the rest of the show.
You're horrified and you're about ready to string me up. I understand how
This
goes.
is not your fault.
I've
This
accepted
isn't.
this, and I'm thankful that I am across the Atlantic on it. The only thing I have to worry about here is a hurricane coming wildly north side. So I'm good.
Oh, you're fine. It'll blow over.
I know. I'm fine. I'll fall asleep to it. It'll be nice, relaxing.
Cozy. It's my favourite time of year at the moment, autumn. Autumn is autumnuming.
Not
That
here.
is
We're
fine.
still in high 70s.
Yeah, we've been slightly cooler. We're in the 80s.
Nice.
Yesterday, it was like 78 in the morning, but we had 80% humidity. It was like walking through soup.
Yeah.
And then it rained, and then it was better.
What's that
It
in old
was.
money?
It was. Uh,
You're talking
I don't
freedom
know.
units. I don't know what.
Yes, freedom units for the
I-
world, not in America.
Snow?
what
Retta,
Google
you're
is
getting
for.
snow?
No, not yet. Give her time.
Is she going to feel her cocaine addiction then?
She too is in the total. Oh my! It's only 11 degrees in Crawley. Let's see what that is in freedom.
That's actually not too bad. Yeah, it is 11.
It's 53 degrees there, and it's raining.
oh, that is very autumnal.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been quite chilly past couple of days, relatively speaking, because of course it'll get a lot
We're
colder.
at mid 70s here.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
90 here,
Yeah.
which is 32 in Celsius, 32 and a bit,
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
and that's cool.
Yeah. Is there any wonder why Florida Man exists?
Yeah, it's a combination of it's insane living in a swamp. That's why they do meth. Therefore, Florida Man.
Simon Whistler.
Also, the lack of education imposed by government restrictions.
I am doing my best to combat it, but some slip through my
Simon Whistler on Brain Blaze, as it is now. Every Friday now he's got a Florida Man special because they are some of the most popular videos going. Just to hear
Yes.
for the sheer stupidity.
Yeah, we also have really strict
I think it's very unfair that Florida should be singled out because there's idiots like that everywhere.
There are, but we have very strict laws called sunshine laws
do like
where
that nail
things
varnish.
have to be public. So you hear a lot more of our nonsense because it has to be public.
Look, your nails. What colour are they?
They're like a sparkly purple, but they're coming across as blue on screen.
Yes, I know.
They're
I'm
kind of a
reminded of.
sparkly purple.
I'm reminded of my lovely car.
Yes, they do look a bit like your car. They're a little more purpley with a red sheen in person, but they do look a lot like your car on the camera.
So back to meth head zombies in Florida.
Can I first of all do an advert for the next show? Whilst we're still early
Oh
on.
yes, do that now.
The
while we
next
still have
show
viewers.
is show 200 of this iteration of the Flashing Blade.
Yes.
We will have guests, Toby Haydock and Stephen Noonan, and God knows what will happen. We're gonna. The idea is
Hopefully
to talk
she gets
about.
the category figured out beforehand.
God no. There needs to be a special sci-fi geeks thing. But we're going to be looking at the 1979 John Mills Quatermass story, which needs love. I'm sorry, but it does. And also The Waters of Mars for Doctor Who. But whether we actually get there or not, you know what it's like. Noonan and Haydock in the same thing. It's again, just sit back, press the button, and go.
Haydock
So
did
if
do a
any
very
point you hear this coming from the microphone on my side.
No
I forgot
looking
to hit
at the internet whilst they're talking.
I
You can
forgot to
tell.
hit the mute. I'll hit mute beforehand.
No, but you can tell by the light of the screens that you're just not paying any attention. And if we got guests, I mean, for me, that's fine. Do that to me all
pay
the time,
attention.
but not with guests.
I pay attention.
What did we talk
I
about
do.
last time? What did we talk about last time?
Doctor Who, Tomorrow People.
No, the last time the boys were on.
I wasn't here, remember?
Well, Toby and
it was just you and me.
Yeah. I had a great evening. I went out, I made a steak, I had a nice dinner, I was watching some movies. It was a fantastic evening. How was yours?
so you didn't actually have a genuine reason to miss it.
Sure I did. I wasn't needed.
You see, that makes me feel sad.
There was so much conversation going on that I felt that my contributions would only diminish the quality of the show.
We don't have quality, you know that. You shouldn't be feeling
Stop,
like
I'm
that
trying
at all.
to sound magnanimous here.
But I've told Noonan there's no quizzes.
Oh, good.
Thought you might appreciate that. And yes, I told him why. So,
And if there is a quiz, I will prepare one of my own.
by the way, did you know that in some states now they're allowing children to be born from the womb in the 9th month?
Yeah.
Isn't that disgusting?
Have you ever
Like an
seen
idiot.
that?
Not in real life, but I've seen.
As a father,
Oh God.
I was in the delivery room,
Oh no.
and I don't want to get in the way.
No, of course not.
No, you don't want
Plus,
to.
your
be in the
hand is
way
currently
for
being
this.
crushed into a pulp by your missus. But yes,
Yes, and I'm like, okay, I'll be over here. No, come on. Hey, look, there's the HUD. They shouldn't have done that.
no,
I think they kind of enjoy doing that with new fathers.
yes.
I understand why they enjoy it. No,
Did
I
it
was
break
good.
you a little bit? A little bit
Little
inside got broke. Yeah.
Broke,
Yeah.
little broke. Yeah.
Dear me. Why are we talking about babies? Oh yes, like this is Trump's thing. The man's mad, and he's coming out with even more and more ludicrous stuff. The closer we get into the election, I am slowly starting to think he's planning on losing. Because he's already said publicly he's not going to
really-
stand again.
He really needs to not. Okay, he either needs to step aside.
No, because you get J.D. Vance. You want J.D. Vance as your president?
Oh hell no,
He won't be elected. Nobody
He won't
likes
be elected. He's too
Yeah,
weird.
but if say, let us, for example, say
The dude
that
asked
Trump
a couch,
wins the
okay?
election, and then something happens to Trump because he's getting on a bit, you'll end up with J.D. Vance as president.
To be fair, selecting J.D. Vance as his vice president was the best bulletproof shield he could do.
Explain yourself, please, young man.
Sure.
Please.
If Trump gets elected, and I'm saying this in a nightmare scenario, if Trump gets elected and somebody, pew-pews,
Yes.
he goes down.
It's becoming a
We
national
know the
America. It's
psycho
becoming a
is
national
coming.
sport for you guys, isn't it? Shooting at Trump.
We know the psycho, the nutcase, the weirdo is going to be president. So that can stop people from formulating, because who's next? Who's in the wings?
Don't know.
However,
Get
if
off
they
me.
do go through with that, they can then 25th Amendment J.D. Vance out of there, and then the Speaker of the House becomes president.
All right, it might change after the election, but who currently controls the House? Is it the Democrats?
Currently, it's the Republicans.
Oh, so the Democrats got the Senate then.
Democrats have the Senate.
It's hairline fracture job on that one, isn't it? Kamala Harris has had to come in and put casting votes in a few times.
It's 6 1/2 dozen of the other in both houses.
Plague on both of them. Oh,
I mean,
have they
in
managed
order
to sort
get
out?
the budget passed, not Ryan, what's his name? Speaker of the House had to go and make a deal with the Democrats because his own party was fucking things up.
They did the same with the border, but the the budget shutdown's been averted, has it? I haven't seen anything
Yeah,
about that.
yeah, they
so-
passed it last Thursday.
Now, did they actually pass it, or did they just kick it down the road until
like they
December?
normally do. Yeah,
What they normally do, they kicked it down the road until the next whatever cycle after the election.
it's a terrible way of running a system.
It's a horrible way.
Yeah,
It's an awful way.
but
Look, I'll tell you
once
what.
again,
Why don't I come
they
in
won't
and
let me
I'll
be in charge.
I was going to say, why don't you let me come over and I'll sort it out. I'll get it all right. We'll get rid of the electoral college. We'll put in proportional representation before the Senate, obviously, and the House. And then, as for the president, there are certain things I'd do. For example, a national board made up of ordinary people that anyone who wants to be president has to go and face a grilling interview with from the public, and we're wanting public members that will take no shit. And it's a case of, if they then agree it, then they can stand. And the joy of it is, each time it's a random sampling of people. So
I think that things like the budget, things like important measures, if I were in charge, Congress people would not leave. You're being paid to do a job. The job is not yet done.
No, I totally agree with you.
I don't care what else you have going on. You have a job to do. You're staying here until it's done. And I will have no filibustering. I will have no foolishness. I will have no nonsense. You will have a completed, agreed upon bill on my desk, 8 a.m. Monday morning.
That's something
Make
I'd
it
get
happen.
rid of. I'd do the same in the House of Commons, the filibuster. Sorry, get rid of that. That is undemocratic. It really is. But anyway, well, we've done our talking about politics, everyone.
They don't let any of us be in charge.
No, I tried. I did try a few years ago. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, yes, it was the anniversary of the West Wing.
Oh, yes.
And some of the casts were invited to the White House by the Bidens. And they let Martin Sheen make a speech. Mm-hmm. And he went full Bartlett. He was the best president we never had. And then there's a picture of him and Biden and a couple of others, and you're thinking, right, why does it fit? Why does Martin Sheen look far more at home in the White House and Biden look like the guest? It's
Martin Sheen has better writers.
I'm pretty sure Aaron Sorkin wrote that because it was one of his soaring oratories. It's out there on the internet. It's brilliant. Typical Jed Bartlett thing. And he thanked Jill Biden by saying, "Thank you, Dr. Bartlett," rather than Dr. Biden. Which was a nice little touch, I thought. Mm-hmm. I've ended up watching quite a bit of West Wing clips. But
you should watch The Newsroom. The Newsroom?
Not heard of it, but...
it was on HBO for a while. It's another Sorkin type deal.
Okay. I can't get HBO, so... No, and I'll come to the reason why not when we're talking about Big Finish. Which reminds me, bloody hell.
Speaking of...
Yeah, we've been here 3/4 of an hour. Should we actually do what we came here to do?
I actually done my homework. And a little bit of next time's homework by accident.
I am
Well,
preparing
yay
things.
you! Okay.
I forgot which Doctor Who was this time and which Doctor Who was next time, so I did both of them because I couldn't remember.
I'm not going
which
to
was which.
criticise that in the slightest. Two good stories. And now, from the worlds of BBC Television's Doctor Who, it's Doctor Who. God, I love that piece of music. Right. A Doctor Who is at work in his lab at UNIT. Oh, that's a good way of doing that, Brian. Nice thinking. And obviously he's got a plucky girl assistant, Josephine Grant. The lady, actually, by this time, she's the Lady Jojo Grant of TARDIS. Princess the Lady Jojo Grant of TARDIS. She really racks up those titles, does Jo?
She does.
She
They're as
does.
tall as her boots.
Anyway, out in the middle of, well, we don't know where, do we? There's going to be an awful lot of this Mummerset tonight. I'm warning you now. But out in the middle, Mr. Ollis, or Hollis, depending if you're reading the novelization or not, goes and finds a weather balloon. And lo and behold, he vanishes. Dr. Tyler, who's there to collect the weather balloon because it's a scientific instrumental thing.
Any relation to Jacqueline Tyler?
Who? Why do you
Jackie
keep throwing
Tyler.
American things at me that I don't realise?
No,
American
I'm not.
/ modern day things.
Rose's mum.
Oh, Jackie Tyler.
Yes.
Can a family drop that many IQ points in just a generation?
Well, you know, I think it was actually would be on Pete's side, so could be like an in-law.
Oh, you make a fair point. Yes, of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. But anyway, then this jelly stuff attacks Unit HQ, and it's all... So they run to the TARDIS to show us the greatest TARDIS control room ever. Fight me. And Omega the Bad is the bad guy, and then the second Doctor turns up, charms everybody, and makes us laugh like a drain. And then the first Doctor turns up, and I cry, and then they go, the 1, 2, 3 Doctors have to go and defeat Omega the Bad. What is this? I knew that was going to happen at some stage this evening. You got to do an Omega impersonation. You do. When you walk into the kitchen, you see something you weren't expected. What is this? It's brilliant. It's wonderful. Yes, Brian?
I think it's fine.
He's looking at other stuff again. Have you noticed?
No, he's watching our stuff and he's trying us up for the next stuff. Keep going.
Well, that's the point. You haven't released the RPG video this week.
Yeah, we discovered that last night.
Okay. Fair
That
enough.
was a error.
Fair enough. It's not exactly like it's unknown here. So,
Eaten by antimatter.
quite.
Exactly.
Quite. Yes. Your
Or
current...
jelly monsters.
Oh, the gel guards. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the gel guards? They weren't named as such in the program, but
They're
can we
very
just
silly.
stop and take a second?
There's
And they
there was a lot of bubble wrap in that.
They wibble. They do.
They wibble.
Wibble
they
or
wobble.
wobble?
But they don't fall down.
That's Weebles. Weebles wobble, but we don't fall over.
Yeah, well, see, they might be gel guards in disguise. You don't know.
At least it's better than an antimatter chicken. Arc of Infinity. Omega doesn't get very good with the old psychosynthesis thing, does he? First of all, you get the gel guards. I sound like Bob. And then we get the Ergon.
No, Bob sounds better.
Well, Bob is cultured.
No, this is true.
Yeah. They did a lovely bit in the RPG last week, him and Jess, where Jess is having a conversation with Bob, who's our engine, essentially, and it's an eye of the beholder. And so Jess is talking away to him, and Brian is answering. Do you want to give us a quote from what Bob said?
I believe I can give a pertinent quote from Bob.
Please. So you see, we're hearing this, and Jess is holding that conversation together, and it made sense. That was a superb piece of work from Jess. I mean, no offense to you, you just had to sit there and make farting noises. It reminds me of Chet from
Weird Science.
Thank you. Yes, after he gets turned into.
Yeah.
Well, let's not talk about that. God, I haven't seen Weird Science in donkey's years as well. Down, Brian. I know where you're going to head with that. Kelly LeBrock. Why did I go to
she
that?
was sullied.
Can we just have some love for the gel guards, please?
Well, on the commentary, they laugh at them very, very hard.
Poor gel guards. I'm pretty sure this was actually made at the end of season 9 and the money had run out.
They
don't
also
know.
do quite a lot on location for this one.
Yeah, and it's quite well shot as well, I thought. In fact, it reminds me an awful lot of The Goodies and the Beanstalk, which you might have in your collection a little bit.
Probably. There's an awful lot of goodies DVDs wandering about. So
So if you see The Goodies and the Beanstalk, watch it at some stage. You'll be reminded of the Three Doctors.
there's an excellent on the DVD. There is a very excellent special. Looking for Lenny.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's about the director, and it is a lovely piece of.
This is an ongoing series because you had Looking for Peter, I think it was, which was Peter R.R. Newman from the Sensorites. They've done this. They're doing another one, but I can't remember who.
But it was really lovely.
It's like
and,
Forgotten People from Doctor Who, and it was I do like the extras on the Blu-rays.
I mean, my favorite stuff is Behind the Sofa, because
yes,
that's like sitting down with friendly faces, and they're watching clips. They're not watching clips. We're watching them watch clips, but
so they are watching clips.
I think they're watching at least.
Oh no, it is just clips. It's not.
It is just clips.
Yeah.
But it's lovely to just watch them and enjoy and get different people's perspectives, and this one's very, very nice because you get two different groups are Katie Manning.
So the Chaos God.
Yes.
Yes.
And her two lads. Sergeant Benton and Sergeant Yates.
Yeah, they're not exactly lads anymore, are they? And
they are always the lads to her.
I think
and
we
you
lost
can
Richard
tell.
Franklin, didn't we?
Yes, and it's very sweet that I think he says something like, "It's just the three of us left." On the recording, and then it's three New Who people watching. I don't know.
I bet Phil Collinson's in there somewhere.
Yes. I don't know if it's on the back of the DVD, and you know how I am with names. But it's lovely, and really enjoyable.
There you go,
So-
Russell Minton. Get a thumbs up from us. We're down to, according to
Favorite
this,
bit.
one viewer. And that one viewer is either Brian or Zombie Wolf, I don't know. But Zombie Wolf is still there. He exists. I've no idea. This has really made my evening. I have no life. Oh dear.
Three Doctors is just cozy. It's lovely.
It was round just after Christmas. It was broadcast in 1973. I think it started in 72 and then 73, because it's technically not a 10th anniversary special because it's nearly a year early. It is the 10th season it's going to start off, but as I said on somebody else's podcast, Happy Times and Places on Patreon. Go and subscribe. Toby Haydock's podcasts are the stuff of legend, which we'll be talking about later. Do you see the segue? Do you see that? Do you see how smooth that was?
I
it
did.
was good.
That's what professionals do.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just got to learn not to actually point out I did it.
Where's the fun in that?
Yeah, I said that this isn't an anniversary special. This is just basically an ordinary story of Doctor Who that just happens to have Troughton and Hartnell in it. Now, yeah, that made a big deal because it was the start of the 10th anniversary year. But still, it's... I remember... I've got memories of watching this, on broadcast. Some of my earliest memories. The earliest go back to Day of the Daleks. But season 9 was when my first memories of Doctor Who float ambiguously. You can't quite put your thumb on them, but you know they're there. Funnily enough, I don't remember quite a lot of the Hinchcliffe stuff, which I think is very strange. But yeah, like you were saying, the Three Doctors to me is Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. This is why I'd like Big Finish to do a Christmas comedy with the Three Doctors. So it's going to be a comedy. We're going to have them bickering like there's no tomorrow. Katie's going to have to be the one trying to sort them all out. Now, they tried to do it with Death World, but it was a bit too serious, sadly.
Yes, Death World was
It's a
good. I enjoyed listening to it, but
I
it was
enjoyed it.
quite serious.
Yeah.
it's a title called Death World.
Yes.
Not exactly, bringing the laughter with that one.
No.
It also had real war games feel.
Yes, up to a point. I will agree with you there. Did we mention this when we actually reviewed it?
Probably.
No, I think we probably didn't. These are stuff that's just coming to us now.
Well, I think I had listened to it, but I'm not sure we actually talked about it much.
Can't imagine that happening. Anyway, yeah, so Big Finish, because we know you watch this. How about an annual
I think that is the greatest overstatement of all times.
Well, they keep asking me for review links, and I put them in. I tag them in Twitter. So I'm having trouble with the app at the moment, though, which I will go into a little bit later if you remind me.
Don't you mean X?
No, not Twitter.
Oh,
I'm
no,
talking-
the
Big
Big
Finish
Finish
app.
app.
Oh,
No, my webpage has got all the releases, but the app is missing about 4 releases. So I've sent them an email. I'll have to wait and see what happens. It's the weekend. You can't expect anything. But no, I want them to do an annual event, the Three Doctors comedy, every Christmas. I mean, I will admit, it might be an idea to rotate the cast every, maybe do one with the Three Doctors one year, the next year get 3 others together.
I think what you need there is something goes wrong in whatever manner with a pantomime and or a nativity play.
The pantomime has been done in the Bernie Summerfield book, Oh No It Isn't. Basically, you've got Nicholas Courtney as Woolsey the cat who's been anthropomorphized.
Oh dear. It's not healthy.
No, it isn't, so I'm
that's not
told.
good.
That never happened
that's
to
not what
me.
you
I
want to
wouldn't
do
worry.
with the brig.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's something goes wrong with that, and then they have to fix it. But they end up directing children. Or they have somehow involved in the chaos that is, because they'd all have different styles of doing that while they're trying to solve whatever ridiculous problem it is.
The only problem I can see with that is actually getting a right amount of children involved. There are laws.
No, I don't mean you wouldn't have to have children voicing. It's Big Finish. You could have adults voicing children.
They've got to be good to get
You could
past
have
me.
Eh,
teenagers do it.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
They're expendable.
I mean, let's face facts. Most teenagers on the telly are essentially in their 20s already.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. They're expendable.
That is why people have an unrealistic view of actual teenagers who don't interact with teenagers, because they see them on TV shows and they're 23, and then you see them in person and they're 14.
Or they're on Disney and they're like much different. What were you doing?
What's the matter?
I heard you. I saw you.
Oh, sorry, I was turning you up a little bit. You were a little bit quiet. I've got individual volumes on this, something you haven't worked out for the RPG yet.
Have you ever noticed that the teenagers on Disney shows don't act like teenagers at all?
No, because
No,
I
they
don't
act
watch
like
Disney
sassy
shows.
Disney kids.
I'm a 56-year-old woman. I don't watch Disney kid shows.
Yes, sassy Disney kids. That's what they are.
They teach
Yes.
people. I mean, what I have seen of it seems incredibly passive aggressive. So, that's
There's an element of that. But yes. So coming back to Three Doctors and away from sassy Disney children.
Or Agatha all
another
along.
one of those
I'm
weird
looking forward to
sentences.
that. Haven't seen it yet.
Okay. What?
Three
Three Doctors?
episodes in.
I have rewatched all of WandaVision in preparation though, because
They do a song in number 2.
as they
good.
should, as they
I
should.
mean, they're all, theater people. So
Yes. Yes.
Can we please move away from Disney?
Yes.
Please, thank you.
why they now own Doctor Who?
No, they don't.
Yeah, but the old episodes aren't on Disney. These ones are still on BritBox. The older ones, the 2005 to modern, are on HBO, and the
Goodness me.
new ones are on
What
Disney.
a mess. What a mess.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's rights.
Well, I don't care about anybody's rights on that sort of thing.
I mean,
Put
we've got it
everything
fine
in
over
one
here.
space, and that's enough of
That's
that.
what we've
I've
got.
had enough.
We've got it all on the iPlayer. Apart from
Yeah.
An Unearthly Child. Fuck you, Steph Coburn.
In fact, I think everything should be on one streaming service. All of it. Y'all can sort it out on your end. I don't need to be involved. Put it all in one place. Y'all figure it
How
out.
about this for an idea? Basically, you have separate transmissions with separate schedules for each of
I
them.
don't want cable.
And it's called having TV channels.
No, I don't want TV channels.
No, I don't want that. That's bad.
That's
the
what they're
same as
going
stream.
back to already. They're already doing that. It's very annoying.
yeah.
I want it
Hulu is
all in
doing
one
that.
place. Yeah, I want it all in one place. I want to be a really good search engine. I search what I want, or you put it in nice categories like you've watched all the Great British Bake Off, but you're still depressed. Here's more shows to watch that are like that.
I think we're
That's-
seeing a glimpse there into Lillibut, but carry on.
Yeah, the pottery show should be there. The sewing show should be there, which isn't over here, and I'm vaguely annoyed about it. Anyway,
That's why
don't
you
let
have
me be-
VPN.
they don't. I shouldn't have to be involved. I'm willing to pay the money.
Fair
I
dues.
should not have to be involved.
Fair dues.
Just look. I will pay you $50 a month. Y'all distribute it and work it out and put it in one place that everybody can access it. Stop messing around with fools.
See, yeah, that's my thing. Hulu came out with this bundle. You get Disney, you
This
get
and this and
HBO
this and
Max,
this and-
you get blah blah blah, and live streaming channels. And I'm just like, you're describing cable.
Yeah,
This is cable.
this is cable. Stop. Anyway, they don't let me be in charge of this either.
So the Three Doctors.
The Three Doctors.
It's
who
not
did
only
not
me who
fiddle
goes
around with
flying
other
off
people.
left, right, and centre, but you two are doing really well this week.
But the first Doctor is on television.
Yes, he is. You can see
Yes.
the camera crew in the background.
Yes, it's rather sweet.
It's very sad.
In his lovely rose garden. And it is the making of was really, I think it was the making of. It was one of the ones I watched. I think it was the making of, where they fully intended on having him very involved, and then when it came to do the script, going his wife saying he can't do that. He's not. I understand what he agreed
She
to, but he's
didn't
not
know about
capable
Heather
of
didn't
it.
know about it. They'd phoned up and managed to catch Bill, and Bill on a good day, because by then he was very ill. And he went, "Oh yes, I'd love to do it." And then Heather found out, and thought, "I don't think they realise quite what they've got here." And so it got trimmed right down. He couldn't learn his lines at all. Had to read them off boards. Whilst it's lovely to see him, he's not spitting fire.
No, but I also think that this perhaps follows in the grand tradition of these multi-doctor stories having to be adapted, changed to meet the needs of the actors, the production, the availability. We see it again with the Five Doctors.
We see it again with Day of the Doctor.
Yep.
So
So you
I
got me
think
thinking.
that's something that is actually really endearing about these kinds of episodes, that they didn't say, well, you know what, if we can't have him the way we want him, we'll just go with the two and we'll write his character out, or we'll have somebody else play it. They went, no, we want him, so we will do what's necessary to be able to have him in the story, and we will make it work for him.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's really lovely.
Because Death World is what the Three Doctors, one of the original versions of the Three Doctors. It's just a story outline. It wasn't a script or anything. But obviously that was back when they were thinking that Hartnell could be in it. It's sad. Poor old Bill.
Yeah. But I think him being included is lovely. Not only is it lovely for us now to see, his last performance as the Doctor, but for him as well. For them to be able to say to him,
If you look where I'm pointing, you can see I've got a framed picture of a Three Doctors publicity shot. It's a comfort picture. Again, childhood.
yeah, I think it's lovely to be able to say to him, we understand, and we still want you to be included. We still want you. You are still important to Doctor Who.
That was his last acting role. He died in 1975. Poor Bill.
And I think it's lovely.
So that was
Sad,
Jeff.
yes, but lovely.
What else are we going to talk about? Dr. Tyler. Oh, this is brilliant, isn't it? Liberty Hall, Dr. Tyler, Liberty Hall. This is the start of the Brigadier becoming a bit of a klutz. A comedy character rather than the serious army bloke he was supposed to be. Three Doctors is what really does for him, sadly. The Cromer gag is good. I'm pretty sure that's Cromer. Now, of course, we always thought it was Cromer, as in Cromer, the place. No, it's Nick Courtney making a joke about the fact that the background is chroma key, or colour separation overlay. I'm pretty sure that's Cromer. Fair dues. The Three Doctors is one of my pleasures in life. I've noticed we've not heard from Brian. You were the one who said,
Okay.
let's do the Three Doctors.
I didn't say that. You did.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I give you a choice or something?
No.
So why would I come out and say the Three Doctors then? You sure you had nothing to do with it?
I'm positive.
I'm going to have to go back and check now. You know that, don't you? You're trying to
Check your homework.
You're trying to screw my head, and it's incredibly easy to do.
I know.
Do you like the Three Doctors, dear?
Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
It was a good arc.
Anything?
Yeah.
Anything particular you'd like to comment upon?
Not really. I did it all last time we did it. This
Anyway.
is not our first Three Doctors go through.
Yeah, I know. This is not good. We're starting to double up, triple up in some cases.
No kidding.
Yeah, well, I mean, come on, we've been going for 5 years. This iteration's been going for 5 years. I've been doing podcasts for 17 years, 17 years now. And, yeah, the same nonsense is coming out over and over and over again. But
Yep. We need to get into the new Doctor Who, I think.
well, we're doing Waters of Mars.
Well, yeah, that's good. Let's just start with 9 and go through. We started with our rewatch. Remember that?
No, I do not want to be forced to watch all that.
Why not? It was good. We had some good bangers on that. We could pick up where we stopped off.
I don't think I enjoy the new series as much as the classic series. I mean, I enjoy it up to a point, but I don't find it, hardly any of them have any rewatchability to them. It's a
I disagree with you on that.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
You're allowed to. I just find these are just temporary things. You know, they appear and they vanish and that's it. There's no real heft to them.
No, there is some stuff in there.
I mean, don't get me
You
wrong.
have to
I've
unpack a
watched
little
every
bit.
episode. You know, it's not like
I know.
haven't. So
But you have to unpack some of them.
I don't know. See, the thing is, the classic series is my comfort zone. I love talking about the
Yes.
classic series.
Yeah. You have to step out of your comfort zone.
I'm nearly 57. I expect cake. I don't have to do a damn thing I don't want to. I've earned the right.
Uh-huh. Look at her. Look at that face. That is the face of uh-huh.
You see, I like to let Lilibet know that, oh God, no, it's the face AE. But really, it has no effect on me. None whatsoever.
She
This
says
was
that.
this would imply I cared about anything.
See, when we went through and did a rewatch of 9 and starting up, I think we got somewhere around.
We were in the
Christmas
second
special of
series.
10.
We were in the second series, and
The
we were
second
on the-
Christmas special of 10.
we were vomiting over Rose Tyler.
Yeah, we really hated her.
Yeah. What? You just come in and you had to let me know, did you? Come on.
And she really isn't a likable character.
She's not. Again,
It's
as we've
not
constantly
until
said.
it's not until we get to, where she goes to other Earth and everything and grows up that people start to like her. But people always look back with, "Oh, Rose was so great." No, she
Her
wasn't.
teeth
She was a
grow.
horrible, bratty little kid.
She was. I'm sorry, but she was. I totally agree with you. There have been far better companions. I mean, Amy Pond isn't a very realistic companion.
Yeah, but
Amy
Amy
Pond-
Pond isn't. I love season 5. It's one of my favorites.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a
Amy
good
Pond
season.
isn't supposed to be realistic because that entire season is a fairy tale.
Yes,
Yeah, Amy
but-
Pond is a fairy tale.
Yeah, I
And-
know. What I'm saying is Moffat's, because Moffat is so quick with the one-liners, the realism goes out of the window very slightly. Would people say stuff like this in this situation?
Depends on
They
the people.
could. It depends on the people. I know people who are like that with one-liners.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them.
I'm being very
but-
down, aren't I?
You
Yes,
are.
yes, you are.
Why? Why am I doing this?
Because
I
you
don't
don't
know.
like the new series, which is,
Well, not as much, no. I mean,
and
don't
you're
get me wrong,
trying to
there's-
reinforce that.
there are certain things that I absolutely bloody adore from the new series. You know?
Like what?
I've watched Day of the Doctor too many times now, so...
Name one.
That is a very good show.
It is, but I've seen
Day
it
of the
too many
Doctor is
times.
fantastic, yes. But
The 11th Hour is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
One that sticks to mind is Thin Ice. No, hang on. The one with the with the Ice Warrior on the submarine. But the only reason that springs to mind is because David Warner and Ultravox. Oh! That reminds me.
you got the new Ultravox?
Well, it's not new, it's a re-release, but it's spruced up and rather gorgeous, and it's got tracks on there I either haven't heard or I haven't heard since I was a child, watching an advert for Levi's
Nice.
jeans. There's rivets and there's Levi's rivets. But that's not what I meant. By pure coincidence, I'm quite surprised about this, the quiz / competition / puzzler thing of the song lyrics comes to an end on the next show. You've had the penultimate one tonight. Please, one of you, you've got 2 weeks. Please, I've been doing this for months and months and months. Please try and find out what I've been doing. Brian, I
Just
will
a
kill
quick
you.
question.
Yeah,
Just a quick question.
yeah.
You did quotes at the beginning of the show tonight?
I will fucking kill you. So if anybody wants to do this, all you can do is start just the beginning of each Flashing Blade. Just after I've introduced myself, I do a song lyric, and for months and months and months and months and months, all the song lyrics have been connected. And it comes to an end next time round. So it would be nice if somebody could put the effort in. Just saying.
Would you like me to start a song lyric game with you?
No.
I guarantee you'll get the same results.
Yes, but I'd at least have the decency to look up the lyrics.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
No.
I would, just so I can make a bloody point.
No.
I'd do it in a bloody minded way rather than anything else.
See? Zombie Wolf got it! Zombie Wolf got it!
I am being fucking ganged up on here.
Yes!
Bert, tell them.
John Hurt, 1984. Damn it!
I'm sorry. I'm encouraging that I should.
We're not at school, you're allowed. It's.
there have been times where I've had to turn my back because I'm laughing so hard because a kid did a thing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And I'm not supposed, I'm supposed to be in charge. I'm not supposed to encourage their poor behavior. So I've had to turn around and just.
Zombie Wolf is actually paying attention. He
Uh-huh.
doesn't just exist. I say he, maybe a they.
John Hurt,
Maybe a her.
1984. He knows
He
it.
actually pays attention. And he's been here before. And he's obviously a fan of Brian. Have a lolly. Yeah, I know you do like your lollies, don't you? Fucking John Hurt. Jesus.
I love Rosie.
What more do we have to say about...
In celebration, I shall have a cookie.
Marigold did a tribute to Dudley Simpson in Rose for the musical score, the scene where Mickey's got dustbin trouble. Mm-hmm. The music there is a slight tribute to the music from this, when they're waiting in the palace and everything else like that. It's not in your face, but it's there. And did you enjoy the pure padding of Dr. Tyler escaping, running around in a circle and coming back and achieving nothing? That was good.
Yes. And I enjoy the padding of the of Alice hiding behind rocks,
Yes.
spying on what's going on. And then sort of there's no reason he's there. Like, he's the inciting incident is what he is.
He's there. He's a gameskeeper. So he's used to, according to Uncle Terence in the book, she's having a whale of a time here.
Do you have something to contribute? Or are you just being a nuisance? Ah, nuisance it is.
Nuisance, there's a thing. It also means that Zombie Wolf is an actual regular... We have a regular viewer. Sorry, tonight has blown my mind. It really has.
They're there.
I mean, there's not much to go,
There.
really. One quick sneeze should do it.
Yeah.
But, now, in the book, Alice is basically searching out the lay of the land. And that's why he's creeping around all over the place, trying to get a feel for the place. Typical gameskeeper's way of doing things. You know, he's going around. He's got his double barrel shotgun, and it's good stuff. What do we think of the Time Lords in this particular version?
I did like that, and didn't know until I watched the behind the scenes stuff, is that some of those actors are the same ones who'd previously played Time Lords.
Yes.
So that's a nice bit of continuity that I'm sorry was terribly lost on me. I was not the right
That's
audience
all
for
right.
that.
You don't have to. That's not something you're supposed to remember, is it? I mean, it's an actor. It's only afterwards when someone mentions it, you suddenly go, "Oh Christ, yes."
Yeah, well, and it's very nice that they went and did that, especially for an anniversary season. Rosie, yes, I know. Oh, life is very hard.
Clive
for cats.
Pollitt. That's the name that springs to mind.
But I do like that one of them is clearly in Shakespeare. He's actively doing Shakespeare, and everybody around him is doing science fiction, and he's doing Shakespeare.
So basically, you're talking about the Lord President.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, something really puzzles me about this. If the Lord President is in charge, how come the Chancellor's trying to tell him what to do?
Because notoriously, the person actually in charge isn't actually in charge.
And it usually is the Chancellor.
I quite like that Time Lord set.
Yeah, it's a nice
Remember,
set.
before
And
we've seen this mysterious figures and a man in a suit and a bowler hat. So
and
this
here
is the
they
first
have
time
the
of
colors. They have the
the basics are there, aren't they? The
There's
basics
lots of
of the
good
actual
cape
thing are
acting.
there. Yeah.
Lots of good cape acting, and there is. I do like the line "On your head be it," which we should use more often in
I
everyday
feel
life.
you. No, I think
I
you're
try.
right.
I try. At the hospital, I try a lot.
Yeah. When they say something and you know it's going to go wrong, but
On
they've
your-
given it to you anyway.
It-
You
well,
say,
see-
"Well, on your head be it."
You see, the thing is, it's the flashing blade. So you have to say it's your head on the block, Chin, not mine.
Too long.
I know, but it's tradition for
Also,
us.
you can't swoosh a cape after that line.
Yeah, it's.
But you can swoosh a cape with on your head be it swoosh.
You make a fair point. You do
Problem
make a
is,
fair
I'm not
point.
allowed to wear capes at the hospital, or else I would.
Have you tried?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a bit wrong.
Maybe I'll be able to wear one for Halloween this year, but
No
that's
capes,
not-
darling. No capes.
No capes.
No capes.
Long coats.
Yeah,
I do
I
like
think
a
it would
nice
work
long
with a
coat.
long coat.
Yeah. You can be very dramatic with a long coat.
I miss my Luftwaffe coat. Great coat. It vanished. I had a house clean and it vanished. And I'm not happy
They do
about
that. Rosie. This is not the Rosie Cat Show. I mean, yes, it's the
It
Rosie
is
Cat
the Rosie
Show.
Cat Show. All we need now is Tormund to turn up and we'll have the full...
No, we don't.
He's a ginger.
I found a sweater I have been literally looking for 2 years. I knew it was in this house. I have since, in the process of doing other things, been in all the boxes under the bed. I've cleaned out all the closets. I've reorganized all my sweaters. Did that over the summer. Pulled out all the shoes. Like, I have organized this house. And it's a very distinctive sweater, so I wouldn't mistake it for something else. At least 2 years I've been looking for this sweater. Found it this week. Near the floor of my closet, sort of wedged between the new box I put in there over the summer and the wall. So I've been in that specific area of the cupboard.
And your head's
There's
going...
no one was there when I put the box in.
I've got
just-
things...
Appeared.
I mean, I've been living in this flat now for... Well, it's got to be about 16 years, I think. I've been podcasting roughly the same amount of time I've been living here. And there's at least one box that hasn't been opened. It's full of old Marvel comics and fanzines, but I'm scared to open it now in case of spiders. But I'm pretty sure that's
Or
what I've got.
Spider-Man.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's the box with New Mutants 98 in it, which is the first appearance of Deadpool and is hopefully my pension. No, I know. I'll get a couple $100 for it. Talk amongst yourselves.
She's looking it up.
I am, because I actually am genuinely interested. I'm
Stuff just disappears.
I'm
Stuff disappears and then you find it later, yes.
Yeah.
I
mean,
just went through a whole pile of clothes that, I hadn't in a long time.
Ooh, there's an awful lot of entries for this.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Look for the Overstreet price guide version.
Well, £94, £320, £149, £159, £11.40. I see what's happened here. Some of them are reprints.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they do go well. But like I say, I haven't seen the damn thing for about 17 years, so I don't know what conditions it's in. So we'll have to wait and see. It's old now. But I might think about selling it. But it's getting it graded properly. Comics come with different grades.
Near mint is 330.
This is not near mint.
Very
I'm pretty
fine
sure
is
that-
250.
Ow, I've got a back.
If you can retire off of either of those,
Oh, come on, it's a steak
more
dinner.
power to you.
It's a steak dinner.
yes, Rosie. Oh,
I'm having my annual steak soon.
Yes, for your birthday.
Yeah,
Yes.
my one steak a year. I love steak. Steak, fried eggs, chips, maybe mushrooms. And yeah, and it's delicious and I love it. And my mouth is watering like there's no tomorrow now. Why did I do that? Anything?
So, Omega.
Yeah, Omega the Bad. Yes.
Who has a snazzy hat.
Oh,
does have a snazzy
magnificent hat.
It's a very
So
expressive
snazzy.
hat.
Yes, so
It is.
snazzy he never takes it off.
No.
Well, the corroding force of the light beam, it's dangerous for him.
Sure. But never? Ever?
You do wonder, don't you?
You'd like, I don't know, wouldn't you want to wash your face occasionally?
Obviously, he's losing his hair.
The thing is, he doesn't need to worry about that because he can just will up a face wash and beard trim and what have you, whilst he's
No.
still in the mask.
No.
He can. He can
It
do
doesn't
anything.
work like that.
He can do anything. It's Omega the Bad.
I don't know. See, this is the entity that thought the gel guards were a good plan.
Yeah, I've got to admit, he is a bit askew.
I don't think he's making good decisions.
I will
I
agree with
don't
you on that.
think-
Mind you, to be fair,
don't think that
he's got
they-
nothing where his brain should be.
That's true. I don't think that they put him there because it was like a natural consequence of the thing with the guy in the place. I think he was really annoying at parties. And the other Time Lords were like, we're not playing with this guy anymore. He doesn't know how to swish a cape. He wears this goofy mask all the time. He's just a weirdo.
He wouldn't have
wants
been.
to
He wouldn't have been
monologue.
wearing the mask back then, though.
Oh, he would have been wearing the mask. Maybe
So,
not that
so what
mask.
you're
He
saying
would have
is
had a mask.
he's an outcast among outcasts.
Yes. I think he monologues too much and they can't get their monologue in sideways.
Ooh,
And
that's
he
always
wouldn't play along with their Shakespeare cosplay. And they were like, you know what we're going to do? We're putting him in this zone over here. And we're going to tell him he can't ever take off the hat because it's corroding.
Well,
That's what we're going to tell him.
yeah, but
Everybody
it was
on board
right.
with
It had
the plan.
corroded him. I still think it's one of the
yeah.
most horrific things in Doctor Who.
Yeah, I don't
Yes,
think
you
that
know?
hat was ever a non-corroding thing. I think that's just a line they told him.
Yeah.
So what happened to his body then?
Oh, I think the corrosion was happening. I don't think that the mask was ever protective.
Yeah, the mask never protected him.
They-
He
they-
just corroded
It's something
anyway.
he came up with. It's got nothing to do with the Time Lords. It's
I don't know. He seemed awfully attached.
there are
is what I'm-
two. Count them.
And let's face it, the Time Lords are kind of shifty. all
Yes,
right?
now that's
not
where I'm heading
exactly
with
on
this.
the up and up.
That's where I'm heading with this. There are, I suppose you can narrow it down to two different things about Omega's origin. Got there eventually. This is without looking at the Cutaway Comics thing where they got Brian Blessed to play Omega.
It's a good.
I
role
would
to
have
play.
liked this. I would have liked that.
I want to hear that. I've got to try and find a copy of it.
Yeah, that would be, right out up there.
We've got to get somebody who can shout. I mean, Stephen Thorne, who played Omega originally. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yes, Origins of Omega. You've got one where Rassilon and him are working very closely together.
And Rasputin was a jerk himself.
Well, hang
so
on a
Yeah,
second.
Rassilon's kind of a
Wait,
dick, too.
wait! Dear godchildren, I'm going to have to stop pulling the leash back. Look at you, you're eager. This is not how we do things on the Flashing Blade. No eagerness.
Yes, we don't spark discussion.
No, damn it. But you've got the Remembrance of the Daleks version, where Rassilon and Omega are working well together. And the accident is an accident. And Rassilon's deeply upset about it. But there are darker tales that say that Rassilon actually may have caused it deliberately.
So what you're saying, you have a Reed Richards, Doctor Doom type situation there.
Up to a point, yeah. Then there's also the fact, if you go, oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this. If you go to the Alan Moore comic strip from Doctor Who Weekly, featuring, believe it or not, the Special Executive and War Dog from the old Captain Britain stuff. Hello, Rosie. That's another origin story where somebody got sent back from the future to damage Omega's craft, so it would do that. It was four-dimensional war. That's four-dimensional, apparently.
So all I
according to my
can
finger.
picture right now is Omega sitting there going, Rassilon!
You left me trapped here with no bog roll.
Oh my God, Omega is Doom. Think about it. He's got the mask. He's got the outfit. He has his own little country planet in there.
He talks in capital letters.
He talks in all capital letters with many exclamation points.
Yep. And the thing is, RTD, I don't think will be able to handle that. I don't think we're going to get a proper Doom. I'm worried about it. I'm worried about it. I want Doom to be Doom.
I think we'll get it. If they fuck this up, do you know how hard this landslide is going to hit them?
Yeah. They've got to get it.
Okay.
I mean, I
so
still
they can't
think
fuck it up.
the Robert Downey Jr. thing is, it really smacks of publicity rather than getting the right actor for the role. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's a brilliant actor and he's superb as Tony Stark. And that's obviously going to be part of the twists. Everyone's going to think he's Stark and he's not. But he needs to be able to pull that off. Doom is... Everyone says Thanos is the big bad. No. Doom took out Thanos quite easily. Yeah. Doom is the Marvel... I'm sorry, are we keeping you up by talking Marvel Comics?
Y'all enjoy.
I tell you what I'll do, Brian. I'll send you having all my Marvel stuff when I die. I'll send some of the extra stuff to Lilibet.
Okay.
She'll appreciate that. So
It could go in the stack in the closet with the other comics.
I don't trap a jumper behind it. Oh.
Send her all the martial law and the Judge Dredd and...
There are some Judge Dredd in there, but I think they were comic book day ones.
I remember Judge Dredd. No, don't get me reminiscing. Don't get me reminiscing about 2000 AD from the late 70s. I'm so old.
Yeah, no, don't send those all to Lilibet. I'm good. I'm good.
So
No,
did
thank
we?
you.
Now we're up to an hour and a half.
Yes.
We've
So,
only
big
looked at
finish.
one thing so far.
So we have a big finish to talk about.
We do, and
Yeah, you have a big finish to talk about. Just a second.
yeah, sort yourself out, dear. I can see right up your nose. It's just this void. Yeah, so we listened to a Big Finish. The trouble is, as I think I mentioned earlier, the Big Finish, the new app still isn't working properly, or something's gone wrong, because I'm not getting the news stories on the latest stuff on the app, which meant I had to do the old-fashioned way, download it from the internet onto my PC, link it all up, stream it across to the Xbox with a media server, and the trouble with that is, because the way Big Finish label their MP3s, you get like the first episode fine, and then after that you get 3 versions of each track, and you got to sort of jump from one to the other. You can't sit back and relax. You've got to be ready to go. And it's
Here's what I do, because I download them onto my phone and play it that way. Play it in my media player on my phone. I make a playlist, and I put everything in order on the playlist.
I shouldn't have to do that.
No, but it is helpful, and it does prevent the notorious Big Finish skip.
Oh, so I'm not the only one who's actually encountered this then.
Oh,
I
no,
thought it was just
happens all
me
the time,
having one of my
especially
days.
when I forget to make a playlist, which actually isn't hard. Like on here, I just click the thing and it does it. But if I forget to do that or turn off the skip, it just jumps around. And then with Big Finish, sometimes you're 2 or 3 sections in before you realize it's done that, because they do tend to be a bit jumpy anyway. This particular one wasn't, but the other ones have been. So sometimes you don't notice right away. This was really good, though. I really enjoyed this.
Hang on. Whoa.
Yeah, go ahead.
With the way of doing this on this show, thank you very much, young lady. This isn't Professor Dazark in space now. This is your real deal. Okay. Don't give me that look.
Too late.
What? Catching flies, are we?
I'm not angry or upset. I'm just very disappointed.
And live in your disappointment. So anyway, yeah. A Doctor Who and his plucky girl assistant Charlie Pollard, or Charlotte Pollard, the Edwardian adventuress. The start of this reminded me a little bit of 73 Yards. They land in North Cornwall.
Yes,
And
they go on holiday by mistake.
yes, and they managed to squeeze that line in. Fair dues. I mean, it's been long enough. They've managed to finally do it. A proper decent Withnail reference. Anyway,
As they're standing in the rain in a field.
well, no, I think that it's not in the field. It's in. They're knocking at the inn's door or something, aren't they? We've come.
No, it's before that because they're. Yeah.
I only
'cause
listened to it last night.
He's they land, and
Yes.
then he says, "Oh, that must be is it John O'Groats or something?" Or that's the wrong one.
doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
he's like, that must be the direction the town is in.
St.
Let's head
Ives.
that way." That's it, St. Ives. And then we have the whole thing, Meta Man going to St. Ives. That's what it was. And they're walking,
Yep.
and it's a lot longer than he assumed it would be, and it's pouring with rain.
Yes.
And they can't tell what direction they're supposed to be going.
No.
And Charlie's very much like, this was supposed to be a holiday, because he's as often happens with the Doctor, he has promised the companion a holiday. And then we get the line that they've gone on holiday by mistake. This script was very well written. There's a lot of little
That's-
tributes here and there, but it's a well written script.
Let's just carry on for the moment. So they go to the town, and a lot of people are missing. In fact, there's only about 2 people left. There's the barkeep or the innkeeper, and then there's the captain. Someone who's, whilst his ship's being repaired and everything somewhere, he's come down to Cornwall to have a holiday. And it's getting really weird. Now, on the way to the town, the Doctor and Charlie watch somebody jump off the cliffs. Which I think is a callback to the start of the Dalek invasion of Earth, where the Roboman kills himself.
Yes, I do. I think it is.
However, it's not mentioned in that way. So I suppose it's a case of, well, it is because there's no mention of the headgear at the time.
No, not at the time.
I mean,
But-
we knew there were Robomen. Oh, seriously, Mama said Robomen are to die for. What are you doing? Oh, it's wonderful stuff. So,
But it's also raining so badly that they have dialogue about, well, what did he look like? And they can't even say what he looked like because it was raining so badly.
Anyway, somebody else turns up. This young lady who's full of beans. And one thing we need to mention, which I forgot to do, I apologise, this is being narrated. This is somebody's memory being written down. And it turns out it's this young girl. She's a student, and she's come of folklore. And she's come to see a local professor about it.
I love her attitude, which was she realized that there wasn't money to send her to university. So she has decided that university will come to her.
Yeah,
And she's contacted all these different professors who have all these folklore connections and has corresponded with several of them. This one seems to be the best correspondent she has and has asked her to come down for help.
Hang on. 1960. Oh, yes. This is set on the 23rd of November, 1963.
Yes.
Enough with that now. We've had that enough times. Too many times now. All right. There are other dates to be had.
Yes, but this
Turns
was
out-
deliberately written for an anniversary story.
It's an anniversary story for 25 years of Big Finish. It's got nothing to do with 1963.
An anniversary is an
I
anniversary.
am grumpy tonight. Why am I grumpy?
You are grumpy.
You are grumpy. What is up with that?
I think maybe you're
You
still
need a
waking up from
Snickers,
your
young
nap.
lady.
Probably need something.
You're not you when you're hungry.
If I'm not me, who am I? Oh, shit, I'm going to be worrying about that all night.
You're Omega.
What is this? So,
Hey, see?
Basically,
say this one word. How do you pronounce Richards?
Richards. You don't just say
Okay.
Richards. You say the cursed Richards. But like I just said, it's the 25th anniversary release for Big Finish. They did this as a live version as well, which has been recorded and will be released. Whether we look at that or not, I don't know. We'll have to find out. We'll have to see what comes out.
I did
The
like them
Daleks
talking
have-
about it, though.
The Daleks are there. And
Of
quite
course
by
they are.
coincidence, so is Alex McQueen's master.
Yeah.
Now, hang
They
on,
introduced
hang
them.
on.
Go ahead.
hang on,
Go ahead. Go
hang
ahead.
on.
Go ahead.
I think they over-egged the pudding for a two-parter. Too many things squashed in, I thought. You know, it'd be good with the Daleks, it'd be good with the Master. Putting the both of them there, it just felt very unsatisfying, the final result. I thought
Well, all
it's a
you
case
need
of, if you had a
right
longer
after that
story...
is like rah rah Rasputin.
Can I finish this? I am grumpy.
You are grumpy. Have a Snickers.
I haven't got any. Oh no, I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Master and Daleks.
Yeah, they were over-egging the pudding there. Unless they put in some extra, maybe an extra episode, because their three-parters do work very well, I've found. It felt just a little bit lightweight because of that.
Oh, see, I think I liked it being lightweight. I liked that the Master was there. I liked that the Daleks were there. I liked that neither of them knew the other one was there.
I also want to know what Nick Briggs was thinking with the Dalek voices this time around.
Listen to the behind-the-scenes things. He'll tell you.
Oh, what was he say?
He was deliberately doing different Dalek voices and sort of impressions, and he mentioned different characters who I don't necessarily know as reference,
Characters
but
or actors?
actors that he was doing deliberate little impressions of with the different Daleks.
Yeah, you sometimes see that with him, but there's moments where it's not the Daleks, it's Nick Briggs being the Daleks. Unfortunately, we know his voice too well now. I've said this before. I said this back when they released Blood of the Daleks. Sometimes Nick comes through too much. And
I when we first get the reveal, I thought, oh, of course the Master's working with the Daleks. Of course he is. Of course he is. Curse his sudden and inevitable betrayal, because that's what happens when he works with the Daleks. And then he teams up with them. Of course he does. And the Daleks don't go sure, they're planning to betray him because that's how they do. But they don't recognize him and go, hey, you've betrayed us before. We maybe don't want to team up with you.
also, by now, they would have exterminated him on Skaro.
You would think so.
Well,
But
no, they did. TV movies happened.
Oh, right.
Which
Right.
means
He's not-
apparently the Eric Roberts Master is now he's canonical, but he's from a separate timeline. It's split off. It's the way Big Finish have done it. So he keeps being lost in the time vortex and dragged back again.
Sure.
Why was I saying that?
I kind of like that it was lightweight, because some of their stuff, because it's audio and therefore happening actually in your head, which is, the beauty of
That's what I
audio,
wanted to say.
is that when their stories are dark and emotional and powerful, which they often are, I find it almost too intense
Okay.
because it's in my head.
Did you listen to Spare Parts recently?
Yeah, exactly. Chimes of Midnight.
I get the point you're trying to make, but something about this for me didn't click.
And that's okay. I liked it a lot.
Too many things in there. Daleks and the Master. Either give them more episodes or take one of those elements out. That's my
I
own
see your
feeling.
point. I see your point.
Mind you, the Daleks have certainly improved.
They have.
The
They have a
Doctor
plan.
turns around and said, "I'm the Doctor, and you'll probably want to take me prisoner." No, we're just going to kill you
No,
now.
we're just gonna kill you.
Finally, at long last,
Where are we gonna put prisoners? We don't have any prisons. We're just gonna kill you. I do like that the Daleks have a plan. It's the same plan that they always have, and it never works out well for them.
Which is?
Get humans to do their dirty work because they've had some sort of. They're after whatever MacGuffin it is this
It's
time.
the ley lines, isn't it?
It's Dalek
ley lines.
invasion.
It's a
Earth,
scientific
it's-
version of the ley lines that they're after.
Yes. They're after power
Of course.
and all the rice pudding.
Interesting
And
point
they would
as well, considering the timeline. This is early McGann, and they're already planning their war with Gallifrey, because that's why they're doing
Yes.
this. Nice
Yes,
touch,
this
I
is why
thought.
they're doing it. But the Daleks don't learn. I mean, clearly they've learned to just shoot the Doctor on sight.
It took
but-
them long enough.
They don't learn, like, do you know, we enslave humans and we make them dig around for things in mines, and then we die. Maybe we should come up with a different plan.
Because humans are expendable.
Well, yeah, but it's and they actually use that really nicely. That the innkeeper was a tin miner, and
They use his local knowledge in that respect, yes.
uses local knowledge and his respect for the mines.
Yes, very much so.
And that he recognizes
Excuse
the
me.
Robo-Men as one is his brother, and that's very sad.
It's called back to
and-
the Dalek invasion of Earth again, yes.
And
Fill in
then
blanks.
many of them are the people from the town.
Yep.
And so he's our emotional cue for that.
They'll have to get intrusion countermeasures turned up to help them out, because UNIT doesn't exist yet.
Yeah, they're going to need countermeasures on this. I do like that it all happens down the mines, and so you have that feeling of claustrophobia, but also that labyrinthine feeling that these people are doing this and these people are doing this, and they're in different places. It's written very carefully so that we can tell where we are. Like, oh, there's a chasm, and we put the bridge over it, and then you knew when they were coming back.
You see, I wouldn't have done that. I would have pulled the plank after me.
Mm-hmm.
So, to stop anybody following.
Yes.
And then on
They
the way
didn't
back,
think anybody was following. They were following somebody else.
this is an RPG thing. We don't need to worry about this. What was I going to say? Shit. The memory's gone. Brian, you've forgotten to update what we're talking about.
Not yet. Well, yeah, a big finish, but yeah.
Oh, that's right. Time Flight. Do you remember Time Flight?
Yes.
Do you remember the Zarathin? Careful,
Vaguely.
Brian, careful. The psychic force the Master was using.
Oh, yes.
Sharim,
yes.
sharim, kebab, blah, 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 blah.
Yes.
Which had a good side and a bad side. Sound familiar? Mm-hmm. That's what we get here. Except this time, they joined together to defeat the bad guys rather than... I thought, again, it's a nice idea, but we've seen it before. But then again, we've seen everything.
Is there any communication with bodily flatulence?
No. That is lacking here.
We're not on Terzarus.
I do like they were voiced by Annette Badland.
She's done quite a bit of work
but-
for Big Finish.
What it was in my head, every time I hear that sort of that kind of voice, I hear the Gelf.
Yes.
See the Gelf
Yes.
in my head.
Again, there's only so much vocal stuff you can do until it becomes unrecognizable.
But I do like that in our layers of narration, I think her name is Emily. Is
M. To her
she this is her kind of first interaction with her folklore. And it actually isn't her who gives most of the information about it. Most of it comes from the barkeeper, and then some of it comes from the Doctor himself. and then she has bits and pieces. But that's her first interaction with realizing like the fantasy is real.
I'm just wondering if the author of this grew up in Cornwall. Because, I mean, it really was quite a detailed study.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and good God, she didn't mention Merlin once. Because that's one of the things where Arthur and Merlin are supposed to have been. I mean, you got to think you got Arthur's seat somewhere down there.
Yeah, but this was really about ordinary people.
Yes, very much so. Being extraordinary.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I know I'm being grumpy. But for a quick thought, it's all right.
It feels very classic adventure story.
Yeah.
Chase through the mines, an old house that has smugglers' caves attached to it, and has tunnels and secret hiding passages. And the master has a creepy TARDIS because, of course, he does.
It's the Iron Maiden.
Yes.
It's old school. He's gone old school with that. Hey, I'm just trying to get my Big Finish account up to see what I haven't seen.
It was nicely like classic traditional adventure that you could very much picture in your head.
Dear God, we've missed a few because of this. We've missed a Fifth Doctor's box set. We've missed Dark Gallifrey, the War Master, the third part of that. And I don't know whether to go into that now because we haven't listened to the first two. But it is Derek Jacobi. I'll work something out, don't worry. I mean, we're not doing anything for the next show. So we are going to be very behind.
That's okay, so is everybody else. That's the thing about Big Finish. Everybody's behind.
Yeah.
How they keep up with themselves, I don't know.
Well, even though it's not Big Finish, I'll find out. No. Sorry. If I can tell you later, I'll tell you later. Yeah, on the next show. But in fact, it might not be the next show. It might be in 2 shows' time. Yeah. That is all right for a celebration thing. The one I'm looking forward to is Once and Future the Coda, where you've got the War Doctor versus the Fugitive Doctor. Now that sounds good. That does sound good. And then we've got the Fugitive Doctor box set coming out. So I can't wait. I really can't wait. Because that woman has attitude. It's the wonderful the hologram that walks in Power of the Daleks. Who the hell are you to the Master? It's just yes. Oh dear. Anyway, and that was Doctor Who. Put in some sort of ending sting. Right. Okay. Revenge is important, is it?
Yes.
Okay. It's in capitals.
Yes. That's how it was on the title.
Was it?
Yes.
I didn't forget I ran out of time. I wasn't able to watch it, which I'm really annoyed about because it is my favourite Tomorrow People story. Colonel Masters, you may remember him from 2 or 3 stories back. He was out to get the Tomorrow People. He was naughty. He gets killed straight away because the actor Trevor Bannister wasn't available. Probably doing Are You Being Served?
Yes.
It's a shame because I thought he was very good in it. Probably one of the best things.
Oh, he was very good. He was properly threatening. And that, I think, connecting that story and this story makes sense thematically, and rather ignoring the story that we just had that shall not be named.
Yeah. It kind of wraps up the entire Stephen Jameson era. Because let's face it, Stephen Jameson. The first 3 seasons are all about Stephen.
He's getting too old for Roger.
Yeah.
So basically, Stephen's on the electric television, and he's working with the magician Ali Bongo. That was the actual magician's proper stage name in real life.
Yes.
In fact, I think he helped out with the tricks on Greatest Show in the Galaxy as well. He gets the credit, which is nice to know. But somehow Stephen's doing stuff, but it's not Stephen. Stephen's not doing it. Who the hell could... If only we knew something that could change its shape to look like something else. Oh shit, Jedediah's back.
The whole beginning of this basically begins like Pyramids of Mars.
Yes. And they explain it as such because
Excuse me.
the aliens that built the pyramids found Jedediah on Mercury
You
and
would.
brought him back.
I mean, what do you have to do to
I do
crush
like
that
it.
robot?
It is a nice callback to the whole Pyramids of Mars and everything.
Well, it actually came before Pyramids of Mars, I think.
And you get to meet more of Tyso's family.
I have to admit, the bits where Professor Coulson is actually Jedediah and he got the harsh breathing and he's looking for Evergreen, I felt very wrong.
It did. It did.
I mean, it wasn't intended as
There
such,
are
but
problematic things all throughout this series. Let's not,
no, fair enough. Bubble skim jump.
let's not shy away from that. But there are some wrongness.
But it ends because the Tomorrow People don't win as such. They lose, and the Galactic Trig has to intervene. This is essentially the War Games. And basically, the Tomorrow People, we're told in voiceover, have left Earth to recover. Jedediah is punished and turned into a pauper human rather than a robot.
They seem to think he still lives in ancient Egypt.
I don't know.
He's going to be walking out into modern London.
That's the
wearing
whole
that.
point, though.
Yeah.
That is the whole point. He's got to start with nothing. Nothing at all.
Yeah, well, there's starting with nothing and being a poor person, and then there's starting with nothing and being a poor person who's wearing ancient Egyptian garb.
But was
Or
it? I just thought it was rags.
PVC It's raggedy, but he's got a turban on. He's got his clothes are definitely made from like wrapped up linens and stuff, and not like just like raggedy regular clothes.
I can't
It's
believe
definitely
you paid A, so much attention to this, and B, it's niggling you. It's the
That's
Tomorrow
annoying.
People.
Well, I know, but I was like, he's got to walk out into London looking like that.
Yeah, part of the punishment.
To be fair, it's 1970s London.
Exactly. I mean,
Who'd done this?
think of the Doctor. Had to walk out in 1970s London, possibly, looking like John Pertwee. Dear God.
John Pertwee had swagger, though.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. This is the punishment for Jedediah.
I don't think Jedediah is punished enough.
There is actually another Jedediah story. It's in one of the books, 3 in 3, where he's running a cult in America. And he's still obsessed with Stephen.
Yeah, that's not healthy.
No, there's not. But he's a robot.
I will buy he turned himself into Stephen because Stephen is the one he has the most information about and therefore can most accurately, long term,
In the book,
pretend to be.
we find out that Jedediah's true form is this green globule thing. That's his true
I
form.
thought he was a robot.
Ask Roger Price.
Because he's a robot in that other one.
Yeah.
He is
really
a robot.
goofy looking robot.
He is a robot, but apparently, according to Roger, no, that's Jedediah's real form.
He's a bionic robot, according to Tim's living person there.
You mean time? How do we get this week?
Timus.
Is it Timers? Is it Tuvok? Is it Tuvix?
Well, there's been no problem with the jaunting platform, so it's
Hang on a
not
second.
Tuvix.
Hang on a second. It's the moral maze, everybody. Okay. Lilibet, have you seen any Star Trek Voyager?
Yeah. I used to write Star Trek Voyager fanfic, which
Oh,
I should
wonderful.
not
So
admit
you are
out loud.
familiar with the story Tuvix.
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Right.
am.
Did Janeway do the right thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you say no, Brian?
I said
You
yes.
said yes. Interesting.
yes,
So they
that's
killed
right.
a new creature just to bring back their friends.
Their
Yes.
friends had precedent.
Yes.
It's a very hard one, that one.
No, not really.
Not really.
Nobody liked the other creature anyway.
Yeah. Tuvix was a dick.
I've only seen it the once. I don't want to know. I don't watch Voyager.
I mean, the harder decision is when she and Tom Paris get transported and turned into creatures, and then they have children, and then they abandon those children when they go back and become
all right.
regular again.
They got turned into fish.
At least one of
That's
those.
it. Fish
at least-
lizards.
I think it's just
Yeah.
one, maybe more than one, is actually in a museum, a zoo, in Federation space. If you watch Lower Decks.
Ah, yeah. I haven't watched it.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, no, haven't seen it.
That's a shame. Lower Decks is brilliant. It really is. It's pure Star Trek.
Oh, I've seen Lower Decks. I just haven't seen that one.
I love Lower Decks. Oh, Strange New Worlds has been renewed for 4th season.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Yes.
that either. I've heard very good things about it, but
It's superb.
my bandwidth has been rather limited for new shows.
It's better than Discovery.
I
I'll
didn't watch
say that.
Discovery either.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
This is Star Trek of old. It's almost Next Generation in that respect. There's no ongoing plot arc per se, except Pike's knowledge of his future. They got a problem with the Breen at the moment. Not the Breen, the Gorn at the moment. But aside from that, it's story of the week. It's got a light touch to it, though.
With
Occasionally,
strangely
they go
a lot of
very
guest
dark.
appearances by James T. Kirk.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a case of
That's-
written by Captain Pike. What the hell are you doing on my ship again?
Yeah. Yeah, he's there for the musical episode.
I know. They had a musical
How wouldn't you
episode.
be?
You'd love the musical episode. You Klingons doing K-pop.
I approve of musical episodes. I think all shows should have them.
You'd
Yeah.
love this one. I really think you would. It's and you don't
I'm
need
writing
any
a
prior
musical
knowledge.
episode for our RPG.
The wonderful thing about dragons is dragons are wonderful things.
I'm starting to play around with my form now. So I'm freaking Brian out by coming out with weird combinations. Like I'm staying as a penguin, but I need
The
hands.
captain said no.
Did I listen? No, because Teak turned round and advised me that this was a good thing for me to do, and Teak's advice is excellent.
You've never listened to her before. Why start now?
Glitter. I have listened to Teak before. In fact, Teak has been rather good with my development. When she's being serious. When she's
No.
using me to wind people up, that's even funnier. So I'm a penguin with hands at the end of my flippers.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Just so I can do things.
So then you can do the musical number from Mary Poppins with the penguins in.
Trying to remember which one that is.
It's a jolly holiday.
Oh, it was that one. Okay. That's our second Mary
Yeah.
Poppins reference of the
Ooh,
show.
I gotta write that one in now. Thanks.
You honestly want us to do a musical episode? Can you imagine how terrible it would be? We'll go into
Also,
negative amounts of figures.
Can you
We'll have to
imagine
owe
we have
people.
no viewers?
We'll go into
Okay.
negative viewers. That's what I'm saying here. It's
According to the Muppets, penguins go quack, quack, quack.
kvack. There you go. Kvack.
Quack, quack, quack,
Quack.
quack, 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 quack.
Kvack. Or, hey, Doc, how's it going? Could do that.
I once had to pull up a clip for Dave because I was like, penguins go quack. Obviously not serious. And he went, what do you mean penguins go quack? And so I had to pull up the Muppets. Penguins go quack. I also had a theory that they are playing an elaborate joke on David Attenborough in the South Pole, and that they all live in nice warm caves underground, and convince him that they all sit on ice floes all day long.
No,
It's just
I
an
agree.
elaborate prank.
I agree. No, I think that's quite good.
Yeah.
I like that. So,
Yes, but
looking
the
at the
tomorrow
amount
people.
of looking at the amount of time that's passed, did you enjoy the Tomorrow People?
I love this one. This is fantastic.
Yeah, we know that from you, but a little bit's going to be an interesting one.
This was a more serious one. I mean, it was so much better than last week's episode. which was stupid.
You've got worse to come.
Um,
I'm sorry. You've got worse to come.
Stupid.
Blame Brian.
This one was like there was serious threat. You were actually genuinely worried about a lot of the characters. They spend a lot of time not knowing who is, or if the people are who they say they are, and they try a few different methods
Brian.
to try and.
Hang on, we've got an auto mod.
Oh,
How did we get an auto mod?
I don't know. I don't know what that is or what it does.
It's basically suspended a post, and it's a case of allow or deny. And I think Brian has
I got rid of it.
blocked them. It's in acrylic, I think, so I don't know.
It's in Cyrillic. It's a Russian bot.
Why do I say acrylic for some reason? That's a form of. Oh
Paint.
dear. Anyway, so
Paint.
we like the Tomorrow
Yes.
People.
I did like it. I did find it like I worried about the characters. I was how are they going to get out of this?
They didn't.
I think the only thing I would actually prefer they hadn't done is had the heavy breathing stuff.
Yes, I agree. It
Yeah.
was a little bit too much, wasn't it?
It was.
It was a
would've been-
dead giveaway.
That's it. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
But this is
I
for
should be in the dark.
children. Perhaps
Yeah,
they
but they
need
don't-
that signifier. Remember, 1970s, early 1970s. Children weren't as
No.
necessarily as sophisticated back then.
They shot a guy in episode 1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason that Evergreen is still alive is that this is a children's show.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise, she'd be dead too. Although I do like when they take her out of the boot of the car and she's like, "I hate you."
Can I just say, get ready to say your fond farewells to Stephen and your fond farewells to Tyso
John,
and Mike.
not going
You
anywhere,
haven't-
huh?
John
No,
doesn't
John's
go
there
anywhere.
forever and a day. You'll never get rid of
John's
him.
terrible at being. Once again, John
Here
is
we go.
sent somewhere.
Here we go.
Sent somewhere now. At least this time he's sent there like not to break it to a parent that their child.
No. This time he wants to get info as a
He
cop.
wants to get info. So he's pretending to be some sort of someone off Zed cars or something. With a Mac and a very threatening manner. If he thinks that's what police do,
Have
He's
you
only
ever
seen
seen
him
The
on-
Sweeney?
well, I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
But he shouldn't be sent to go places and do things.
But
Don't-
he's their leader, so he makes the decisions.
Good at it. He
I mean,
should
he
be
likes
in
to
the
think
lab.
he's the leader, but Elizabeth does tend to.
She's the one who should be. She gets the answers. When they send her places, they get answers. When they send him places, they get no information and someone ends up dead. That's how that goes.
John needs to stay in the lab.
John needs to stay
It's
his
his
butt
happy
in the lab.
place, isn't it? He can sit there and be
Should not
sarcastic.
be
to
allowed
people.
out. He makes bad
I
decisions.
can't recall. Does this one have the redesign of the lab
Not
or
yet,
not?
no.
The next one.
No, I think it might be the next one. I
No.
can't remember, but there was a fire between seasons, which was forced them
Yeah.
to redesign the lab. I think it starts in the New Gods, which I think is the series after the one we're about to hit.
Yeah.
Right, we're moving on because it's we're well past 2 hours now.
Yes, and I do actually have to cook food for the rest
So
of
what
the
are you
day.
doing
I
next
have
week,
to do
Elizabeth?
meal prep. Well, back to work. So the children are going to be squirrels because they've had extra days off. But I'm grateful. Because last time they didn't cancel things and they expected us to travel in a tropical storm. That's a whole other thing. So just regular work next week. And I have some doctor's appointments and we have a union meeting on Monday for negotiations. So hopefully lots of people will show
Fair
up.
enough. Brian?
Work. Prepping for the game on
Work.
Saturday.
Do you want to tell people about the game on Saturday?
Sure. On Thaco Gaming on Twitch and YouTube, we will be hosting our usual bi-weekly campaign of Savage Worlds. Hopefully they get off the goddamn planet this time. I'm
How
running out
far
of shit to throw
behind
at them
are
for
we?
Wormwood?
I mean, you
so-
must have had expectations of how long each bit should take. How are we doing?
Yes.
How long have we stretched that out?
You've stretched this out on a scale of sapphire and steel.
Oh, shit. I appear to be locked in a cafe in space.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm starting to feel it now myself. Right then.
And what are you up to? You said you're doing your recording.
Yes. I'm going to be James Fuller Love in a recording of the Quatermass experiment. It's a private thing. It's not for release. Sorry. So, there
That's
we go.
fine.
I'm doing it because I want to hear it myself. Because nothing exists. So, anyway, yep. So I got that. Possibly I've got to hear back from Noonan, but there's a chance Adam and I will be going up to that London to go on one of Noonan's walking tours. Depends on if he's doing them. Depends what the weather's like.
But that would give Fireball a field trip.
Yep. Yes,
Yeah.
it will. Now I've got Venus.
Remember, the cow catcher in the front. You'll be fine.
Doesn't have the power to do anything. Okay, so cow. Slowly trundle up to the cow and
Well-
stop.
Okay, you put a cow catcher on the front of Fireball. It
Fireball
turns into
Jr..
more of a people catcher, people disperser.
And it doesn't work because I don't have the power.
It'll work. It'll work if you start running.
Dave
into
would have
them.
suggested Nerf guns.
Yes, I know. I'm sure
I like
he
this
would.
one. No. Paintball guns.
Helen wants to paint it up like a TARDIS.
Okay. I can be down with that.
Now, as it's my own property, I'm actually... I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. But not yet. I just want to move out of this place, and I'm going to be lucky if I've moved by next winter, quite frankly. It's taking so long. And once all that's settled down, then I can look at doing other little things. But, yeah. So there's that. Well, that's
the
it.
cat's assignments.
Next show is 200. Toby Haydock and Stephen Noonan will be joining us to talk Quatermass and the Waters of Mars, which sounds like a really, really great story. Quatermass and the Waters of Mars.
It all ends badly. So
Yeah.
that seems on plan for him.
That's on brand.
Have you, Brian? Did you watch any more of it?
No.
I've seen the first episode because I forgot that we weren't doing it today. And I started watching it thinking, well, I'll do like one episode. They're like an hour a bit. I'll watch one episode a day and then I'll be caught up. And then I realized it's in 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, so I got
So
2 more
now
weeks to
you
watch this. And I'll
forget
stop.
and suddenly have to cram it in just before.
No, I've watched one episode, so I only have 3 to go.
Okay, I'm very much looking forward to what you think. I know what Brian thinks. He doesn't like it. But context is important. I don't think you've taken that into consideration.
I have taken the context into consideration.
Right, we will discuss this on the next show. And you're going to upset Toby and Stephen. I'm just letting you
Life
know
is
this.
full of disappointments. They're actors. They've faced a lot already.
You're going to
They'll
be
be
hurting
okay.
them. They're our guests, our 200.
They're
That's
there.
all I'm saying.
Try the dip.
Suspicious yellow dip. Good old God.
I would just
right.
say that Quatermass and the Triffids explains an awful lot about this British psyche.
Hello there.
Yes, the Triffids do. I like
Yeah.
the Triffids.
We might do date the Triffids again then.
Trauma. There's an unnecessary trauma and
Or we could do
apocalyptic
Survivors.
literature.
Except
It's
the
there's no
first
reason for all
episode of
that
Survivors
foolishness.
is good. There's one called Law and Order a few weeks later, which is edge of the seat stuff. But the rest of it is just some people argue about doing farming.
I think
We should
we
do
all
Love and
needed a
Robots.
little chocolate. I think everybody was probably really depressed.
I think they were. Well, end of the world stuff. Sorry, Brian, what did you say?
We should do Love and Robots. Dark Mirror.
Oh, I hardly watched any Dark Mirror. When it went over to Netflix,
Yeah.
I hardly watched it. Used to watch it on Channel 4. But
We could do Dark Mirror, Love and Robots.
have you got access to Netflix a little bit?
Oh yeah, Netflix I have. A Dark Mirror was another one I avoided because,
Oh, well, we're not doing that.
all of
then.
it.
We're-
It being what it is by its nature.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one very good one which is a bit tongue-in-cheek. It takes the piss out of Star Trek. And has Aaron Paul guesting right at the end. But yes, it is... I mean, I would love to see Charlie Brooker showrun Doctor Who. Because, yes, it wouldn't necessarily be that dark. Because he's a comedian.
For October, we could do Midnight Mass.
What is that?
It's on Netflix.
What is it?
It's a Joe Flanagan show.
Who's Joe Flanagan?
Exactly.
It's
It's
American,
worth it.
isn't it?
It's American. It's worth it.
British archive.
It's worth it.
TV
Watch
show.
the first episode and tell me it's not worth it.
No. I don't trust anything you tell me to do now. First of all, there's the whole Splotch incident, and now this.
Look,
You
you
haven't
made the
got a good
conscious
track
decision
record.
to go watch that video.
No, I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it because I don't trust you in the slightest.
No. Midnight Mass on Netflix is a very good show.
What's it about?
It is. I can't tell you what's it about because that gives everything away. It's about It's about an isolated community
Right.
on a New England island
Right.
that's home
Time
to a
period?
fishing industry. Modern.
Okay, thank you. See, that's good. I like that. I'm quite fond of little fishing towns on the northwest,
Yep.
east American
It's about
coast.
a
I
guy who
think-
comes home to his community after he had to serve some time.
Okay. You told us enough. I was going to think of, is it Shreveport? Dark Shadows.
No.
That little sort of fishing community.
Collinsport, no.
That's it's. I like the idea of having a dramatic house on the cliffs.
Yeah.
you
No,
can
it's
see
not
the
like
storm.
that. It's an island, so it's
There's
A
no
little-
getting away. Anyway, so
a little flatter than Collinsport.
2 weeks' time, show 200. Wish us luck. Would you like to say
We're
goodbye?
gonna need it.
Bye.
Brian, are you going to say goodbye or are you just going to wave?
I don't know. I might do both. I might say goodbye for the goat.
Interesting. Trouble is, you're working on a time delay. So this could be quite funny. Bye. Bye-bye, Zombie Wolf.
You've got to fight for what you want, for all that you believe. It's right to fight for what we want, to live the way we please. As long as we have done our best, then no one can do more. And life and love and happiness are well worth fighting for. They're well worth fighting for.
You'll notice that even though we did the Three Doctors, we didn't mention John Levine. Here's Brian with his goat thing.
Goodbye.